Well, trash day is tomorrow, and I'm cleaning out my pellet tins here. I'm going to throw away these dented pellets that aren't going to shoot good. At least that's what everybody says. You guys have any last words before the trash can?
Please, sir, don't throw us away. Give us a shot, literally, please. You don't know if you won't try us.
So you will shoot good. Well, we'll see about that. Let's get you loaded up. Hey everybody, welcome back. James here again with you. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already, guys. I really think you're going to enjoy this video. It's more of an experimental video, but it's really awesome what I have in store for you guys today. So keep watching. Okay, so in the recent video I did on STKO, a lot of people brought up some good points, guys. And what I'm talking about is, you know, damaged pellets. And if the skirt is damaged or, you know, something along the line happens to a pellet and you end up shooting it and it becomes a flyer, it's not a flyer. Well, again, this video being such an experimental video, I wanted to show you the difference between the magazines that I was using in that video. Now, if you haven't seen it, it's called PCP Airgun Design Flaw on STKO, which the link will be below in the description of the video. But what I did was I basically compared and told people the biggest design flaw of the factory standard magazine, like your Marauder style magazine, and compared it to a CARM magazine, which I bought myself. I bought the Kral style magazine, the Marauder 10-shot Umrex style magazine, and the Diana Stormrider magazine. So, and I've also found a huge difference, guys, in shooting with both of these. And in this video, I want to share with you what I found, whether the pellet was already put in the barrel and has rifling engraved on it, or the skirt is dented on purpose and shooting just a regular pellet out of the tin, guys. So what I'm doing is a head-to-head comparison using the factory magazine that came with the Kral and then the aftermarket CARM magazine. Now, you may not be able to know the difference offhand, but the thing is, if you watch that video that I'm talking about on STKO, my pellet probe here in my Kral, every time I load and unload, or load and slide the cocking lever back to load another pellet into the barrel, the magazine already rotates and hits the bolt probe before it's fully out of the magazine, causing the next pellet and skirt to be damaged. And a lot of people again brought up some good points. That JSB pellets, which that's what I'm using in this Kral and then in this video, is the 1589 JSB 22 cal. That the skirts are so soft that they just blow out anyway, and that shouldn't affect anything. So I got some interesting results, guys. Again, I'm going to go ahead and show you the factory magazine of shooting a pellet that has rifling marked on it and then pushed back out of the barrel. A pellet that is purposely dented in the skirt, and then a pellet right out of the tin, guys. And I'm using the side shot. Let me go ahead and show you those 3 shots on target downrange at 50 yards now. Alright, factory magazine. First up is the pellet that is pushed in the barrel and then removed. 50 yards.
Okay. Next up is the Dented skirt pellet factory magazine. Oh, that was a flyer. Next up is the factory 1589 JSB out of the tin. That ain't good.
Okay, so as you've seen those 3 shots, guys, that is nothing really to worry about. Not that great, really. I mean, about an inch group or so at 50 yards. Definitely not the greatest that gun's ever done. Now, with that said, these 3 shots, you can see which one was the flyer and that magazine. I believe I had the actual target sitting like this. I think that's what it was. But you can see which one was a flyer, and then the factory out of the tin pellet was really low. So now that you've seen that, huge difference downrange. Let me go ahead and show you the same exact test, guys, with these KARM magazines, and then I'll get into why these are so much better than the standard factory magazines that are styled like this Kral factory magazine, whether it's the Umarex Marauder style magazine or anything with the self-indexing rotator inside the magazine carousel. Let me go ahead and show you the 3 shots taken with the KARM magazine. Again, the first pellet is ran through the barrel showing the rifling on the head and skirt. The second pellet has a dent in the skirt purposely, and then the third pellet is right out of the tin.
Wow, even though 50 yards, that hit the last shot I was aiming at. I don't know if it's the Kral or the KARM magazine is that good. But I do know that I was getting flyers with the factory magazines, and that's why I made that video. Holy cow! Looks like it went in the same hole as the other ones. That is crazy. I'm really loving this magazine.
Here it is. This is unbelievable. Look at that. That is insane compared to this group. Way less, way tighter group than the factory magazine. The KARM magazine shot with the damaged pellet, the bended skirt, and the factory, and you can see how close they are, guys, and I'm standing shooting off the bog pot at 50 yards. That is crazy. So guys, I'm going to tell you why the KARM magazine, and many people on that video again from STKO agreed with me on this. These KARM magazines are so much better than the factory magazines you get with the guns, especially this style, which I'm not a big fan of it anymore after I found out why and what it's doing. So again, as I mentioned, not only is this magazine rotating with the bolt probe still in there, the pellet probe, until the next shot, and then when you pull the pellet probe all the way out, the next pellet already has damage on the skirt, and then you load it, and then it's probably a flyer. Or, not only that, depending on how bad the skirt is damaged because it hit slapping the pellet probe tip, this magazine has a rotational spin, and what happens is when that pellet probe goes in there and pushes that pellet, the tip of the probe is so paper thin, like a needle, that it's just barely touching the center of the pellet, and the force of the carousel on the backside here is catching the skirt and knocking the skirt out inside the barrel and allowing the pellet to turn. And I didn't mention that before. Whereas this car magazine, you push a pellet through and it goes straight out no matter what. No matter what the pellet probe tip is, whether it's the full diameter of a pellet or, you know, a pinhead style. So anyways, guys, I just wanted to share this with you. And I cannot believe in this little experiment that I did that the car magazine not only shot a pellet that was somewhat damaged because it's already ran through the rifling, and a bent skirt, and a pellet right out of the tin with a pretty much same precision and accuracy. And I was using holdover standing at 50 yards off the bog pod, guys. Come on. That is crazy. Again, at 840 feet per second on high power, 15.89 JSB 22 caliber. That is awesome. So guys, I hope you got something from this video. I ended up again buying this magazine for my Kral. I got one for my Umrex 10 rounder. That's like basically the Marauder magazine. And I have one for my Diana Stormrider now. So I cannot complain, definitely, for what I got my money's worth. These cost a little over $20 a piece. I ended up getting them for less than about $80 shipped to my address from Croatia. Awesome rotational magazine, guys. You definitely cannot go wrong with them compared to the factory magazine. So, as always, guys, I appreciate you watching. I hope you got something from this video, because I know I did. This was amazing. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks again.